Let's make it a good day.
Coming up today, if you build it, they will watch. It was a TV home run when Hollywood teamed up with Major League Baseball for the Field of Dreams. Then, Sarah Paulson as Linda Tripp. It cannot get any better than this. Our first full look at American crime story, Impeachment. And it is a hot topic for sure. The do's, don'ts, and don't bother of tipping. Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Good morning, Sandstone. Good morning, Blooming Prairie. Good morning, Woodbury. And good morning to you. Welcome to the Jason Show. I'm Jace. Kendall is off. Shane didn't want to play with us today. No, I'm just joking. Shane is on assignment as well. That's it. It's just I apologize in advance. You're just stuck with me. That's it. I know. I mean, my name is on the floor, but you're stuck with me. I do apologize. But hey, we do have other friends. Please welcome our audience today. We have Sandy, a good friend of ours. Hi, sweetheart.
Hi, how you doing today, Jason?
Good. Now, Sandy's my birthday buddy. She was born on the 3rd. She's a fellow Leo. I was born on the 5th. How was your birthday? I know what you usually celebrated here in the studio, but for obvious reasons, we couldn't do that. How was your birthday other than that?
Oh, it was awesome. My husband took me out to the Vikings training camp in Egan, and the weather was spectacular. We had an awesome time.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Oh, no, we can't get much better than that. Let's also say hello to Angie. Hi, Angie.
Hey, Jason.
Now, is it Angie now? Because I have, one of my high school 5. Well, it's actually now 4. We booted out one. But I have an Angela, and I used to call her Angie, so I want to be correct on this. Do you like Angie or Angela?
I do prefer Angie.
Okay,
so you're perfect.
Oh, good, because I like Angie. I like the Angie better. Now, Angie, where are you zooming in from?
I'm from Albany.
Well, welcome to the show. And sometimes the audience submits questions for me, and you had a really good question. You said, "What's the longest vacation that I've ever been on?" Good question. It's usually my little summer break. I take the bosses are nice enough to give me a little break in the middle of the summer. I just completed it a couple weeks ago. About 2 weeks off, and then I take around the same time in the winter around Christmas. So 2 weeks is about the longest. How about you, Angie? How about you?
Oh, other than having babies, probably a week.
Okay. How many kids do you have, Angie?
I have 2.
Let's give them a shout out. Their names?
Oh, sure. I've got Alex. He's 18, heading off to college in a couple weeks, and Hope is 15.
Angie? How you doing with the kid heading off to college? Are you sad, happy? How you feeling?
It's a mixture of both. I'm excited for him to get out, especially after the last year and a half, just to get out and live life a little bit. But it's bittersweet.
Well, if you get lonely, I'll move into his room. I'll just come out. I'll move in.
Sounds perfect.
I'm a good house guest. Sandy and Angie are going to be sticking around throughout the show. Thank you so much. And listen to this. Today's audience members aren't just getting our special edition Jason Show mug. See what happens when Kendall's not here? I can't even speak. We're also helping them get back into the school spirit. They're also getting this backpack full of goodies from our friends at Mall of America. It includes a Fial Raven backpack as well as a tumbler, pencils, socks, a pair of Nickelodeon Universe passes, and a $50 Mall of America gift certificate. The backpack is worth $260, so Sandy and Angie are getting that. And for your chance to win, head to the Jason Show Facebook page or fox9.com/contest. So congratulations, ladies. See, Angie, we were just talking about back to school, and now you got a backpack. And then,
awesome.
And then Sandy, just consider this a birthday present for you that I didn't buy.
Well, thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Jason, for the gift that you actually didn't buy. Thank you, guys. We'll talk to you in just a little bit. Hey, and speaking of social media, coming up a little bit later in the show, you saw it there in the cold open. We're talking about tipping. Woo! Go to the Jason Show Instagram page account right now. click on our stories and take part in our poll. We're going to ask you about different tipping scenarios. Like, for instance, do you think that you should tip housekeepers or baristas? Let us know. We want a lot of people taking part in the poll, and we'll give you the results a little bit later. But right now, I'm looking at the time here. It's time to eat. Leo, roll it. Time for the hot dish. Here we go. Why was I making porpoise noises? What's wrong? See, this is what happens when I'm alone. I just get into trouble. Well, it was a long time coming. First up, Hollywood and Major League Baseball met last night on a cornfield in Iowa. The Field of Dreams game aired right here on Fox. And now look, I know what you're thinking. Oh, Jason, of course you're all in this because it's your same network. No. If we've had horrible shows on here that I don't talk about. This was fantastic, and this opening gave me the chills. Look at this. Seriously. I mean, bravo to the production team. The baseball game took place right next to the field where Field of Dreams from, it's 1989 was actually shot. Kevin Costner returned. The White Sox, by the way, won in a dramatic ninth inning walk-off home run. I mean, it's just really, we got to take this apart for a second, the different pieces that came together to make that great. You have the staging, which again, the director Leos of that organization. You have the directing, you have the camera placement, you have the music. How beautifully placed was the music, and the great photographers getting that beautiful kind of back POV shot, point of view shot of the players emerging from the corn, and just it was fantastic. And you would think, on paper, you probably read you would read the rundown, and it says Kevin walks for 4 minutes out onto the field with just music playing. And you're probably thinking to yourself, oh, that's a long time for nothing to be said. But it's not, because you're in the moment. You're in there. You're walking out on that field with Kevin, and you're letting the music wash over you. Bravo. I mean, our network, look, we're home of Man versus Beast and some goofy shows. But I will say our sports division, Fox Sports, they really innovate in really wonderful ways. I mean, they changed football broadcasting when Fox got the NFL rights in the early 2000s. And look at this. I mean, that's just gorgeous. They did confirm today that this will be not a one-off. This was such a hit that they're going to do it again. I think the commissioner said that earlier this morning. And it's just obvious. Of course they should. That's gorgeous. So good. Ugh. I'm going to be at the Twins game tonight, by the way. It's not going to look like that, but I'm going to be Sporty Spice tonight, taking the family. I have family in. I have my cousin and his husband in town, so we're taking them. They've never been to Target Field. I'm excited. So if you're out there, I'll see you. Next in the dish, the trailer for the next American Crime Stories was dropped last night. It's called Impeachment, and you can kind of guess what it's about. It follows the affair between Monica Lewinsky and Billy Boy, President Bill Clinton. Look at this.
Press will destroy her.
You don't know the half of it.
My wife went into a hotel room with Bill Clinton.
That is a lie.
President, do you know a woman named Monica Lewinsky?
That's me. That's my face.
This isn't about justice.
Then what is it about?
Impeachment.
William Jefferson Clinton, do you solemnly swear that you will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
I play that soundbite all the time on the radio show. Sarah Paulson, as I mentioned in the open of the show, is Linda Tripp. Beanie Feldstein is Monica Lewinsky. Edie Falco is Hillary. The guy, I can't think of, Clive Barker. Clive Owen is Billy Boy, is Bill Clinton. Impeachment, American Crime Story, debuts on FX next month. You know, you're probably thinking, well, why do we need to see this? If you're watching the show, chances are you lived it along with us in '98. Yes, but what I think is going to be unique about this is one of the producers is Monica Lewinsky. So I think, yes, we saw the headlines. We saw it from 37,000 feet. But I have a feeling that this, dramatized, of course, I think we're going to see Monica's point of view more than we probably have in any documentary or any dramatic piece of fiction that's been written about this. That's what's fascinating to me. Yeah, we saw her name splashed around, you know, Inside Edition and Extra and Entertainment Tonight. But what was really going on when she went home? And what was going on inside the White House between Bill and Hillary? I mean, we saw that classic shot of Bill and Hill and Chelsea walking to the helicopter after it was revealed that he actually did have, I did not have sexual, after it was revealed that he actually did. And remember, he held Chelsea's hand. What happened right before that walk to Marine One and right as they got on? That's what I want to know. I also want to know this, that you're going to stay right there because we're going to be back right after these words. Stay with us, much more ahead. The party is just getting started. Coming up in just a little bit, what are your real thoughts on tipping? Do you tip housekeeping at a hotel? How about a barista? The surprising results just ahead. Then, becoming Aretha.
Looking out, her approach is more on the morning bread.
Jennifer Hudson is telling Colbert about the pressure of portraying the Queen of Soul. And did you miss an episode this week? Yeah, we can't blame you.
Jenny is my type of gal. She loves her kids, but she doesn't want the focus taken away from her.
Don't worry, though. We have the best moments of the week just ahead when we come back.
Like commercials and stuff, right?
Oh yeah, my very first job was a commercial for a fried chicken restaurant. That's right. Not racist at all. I'm very proud of it. It was a very, it was a weird. I was like 11 years old or something like that, and this was like my first like gig. So I was supposed to be fishing with my fake granddad, I suppose.
Right.
Another actor. So that was weird. My line was, you know, Grandpa, the fish ain't biting today. And he hands me a piece of chicken. And I bite the chicken, and I was supposed to say, I like this kind of biting. So I just remember the director telling me to, like, take a bigger bite of chicken. Like, a bigger bite of chicken. And I was like, this is racist as hell. But they paid me, and I enjoyed it. It was a good time.
Yeah.
Keenan on Kimmel with guest host Sarah Silverman. Now, see, Kimmel, that's the deal you want. You're gone the entire summer. I mean, when's he coming back? September? Is it September? Wow. I got to call Marion Mim Davy about that. Get her. Think she what? No. Oh, Jeff said no. And I wouldn't want to be away from you guys all summer, but. Well, I know. Well, I love them. They watch the show. I mean, maybe just the whole month of August, but you know, we'll talk later. Keep next in the dish. Keep the change, ya filthy animals. Speaking of Keenan, he's returning for the Disney Plus reboot of Home Alone. I know. I don't know how we feel about this yet, audience, but we like Keenan, so let's see. It's called Home Sweet Home Alone. Oh, nope, I'm out. I'm sorry. I've suddenly changed my positivity. It will star Jojo Rabbit's Archie Yates as Max. He's joined, what? Anyway, he's joined by Ellie Kemper, Rob Delaney, Chris Parnell, and Keenan. The movie's going to follow as a married couple looks to steal some priceless heirlooms and ends, and it's up to Max to protect the house. It's going to run on Disney Plus in November. No. Again, I don't know why. I love Disney Plus and their whole motto of the story continues. That's fine. I mean, like Star Wars and Marvel,
you don't need to redo Home Alone. Home Alone is like a one-trick pony. How many kids can be left home alone in a mansion? I don't know. It was original in 91. I don't know if it's original now. That's what made it so great when Chris Columbus and John Hughes did it. It was a new concept. Now it's not original anymore. I don't think we should be redoing this. But oh well. Next in the dish, Jennifer Hudson is Aretha Franklin in the new movie Respect. Last night she appeared on Colbert and she demonstrated how she took on the role of a legend. Look at this.
To give you an example, I don't know how she played with heels on. John, don't be watching me, okay? So Aretha was more, let me play it for you. Looking out, her approach was more on the morning rain. Then Jennifer would say, I used to feel so uninspired. And when I knew I had to face another day, Lord, it made me feel so tired. Before the day I met, life was so unkind, but you're the key to my peace of mind.
I mean, really? Really? We were just saying, we're all watching that clip. Jennifer Hudson sits down at a piano and does that. That's a gift. I mean, that's amazing. I mean, I would sit down in front of a piano and I would sound like a platypus being tortured. I don't know why I chose the platypus. It's an animal not often talked about, the platypus. And really, what's its role in nature? Do you ever wonder about that? You know, like bees. Bees pollinate the flowers. But really, what does the platypus do? I don't know. Find out for me. I'm being rapped by Tyler. Tyler doesn't care about the platypus. Respect, by the way, hits theaters today. I was looking at reviews earlier this morning. They're really good. And they said Jennifer Hudson is Aretha. And that's saying a lot. I mean, because again, people overuse the word in the descriptions of icon and legend. Aretha is a legend. And I have a feeling in about 10, 20 years, this generation is going to look at Jennifer Hudson about the same way. Next in the dish, comedian Bill Burr has poked fun at Star Wars fans for years. So when he was approached to actually appear in the Star Wars series Mandalorian on Disney Plus, he was actually stunned. He talked about this on the Your Mom's House podcast. Listen to this.
Well, Mike Binder. I went to Mike Binder's birthday party, and John was there, and he said, hey, you know, we're writing this thing. We kind of have you in mind. You want to do it?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know, John. I've teased Star Wars people a lot.
Yeah.
And he goes, I know. He goes, I listen to podcasts. He goes, I think it would be funny if you got in it. My wife was kicking me under the table, and I was like, all right, I'll do it. But, like, there's this misconception that I truly hated it.
Yeah.
I just was hating on it as a comic.
It's a bit almost.
Yeah,
right?
You see 1,000 people excited about something.
Sure.
You're going to make fun of it.
Pro wrestlers. Sure.
Yeah, it's just doing that. That's all I was doing. So
Bill appeared in season 1 in episode 6 and then twice in season 2. Look, I'm a Star Wars fan. We give folks a lot of things to laugh at. I think one of the funniest late night bits ever happened in 2002 when Conan O'Brien sent Triumph the Insult Comic Dog to the line at the Ziegfeld Theater in New York waiting for Attack of the Clones. And he went up to this guy dressed as Darth Vader and Triumph said, which one of these buttons calls your mom to come pick you up? Seriously, it was fantastic. And then he looked at another nerd, and there's a nerd girl next to him, and he looks at the guy and he goes, "This is the closest you will ever come to a girl." It was just like, it was it's all on YouTube right now. Go look for that one, and when Triumph goes to the Bon Jovi concert in New Jersey, 2 of the best Conan bits ever. Let's go to the audience and talk to our friends, Angie and Sandy. Are either of you guys Star Wars fans? No?
I guess I'm somewhere. I've always loved R2-D2. He's my favorite.
Now, Sandy, let me acknowledge, I love to acknowledge good backgrounds, beautiful houses, like Angie. Angie looks like, beautiful paint choice. But Sandy, let me acknowledge, you have a Jason Show background behind you.
Yes, I had a really nice background, and it wasn't on the beginning of the show because it fell down, and I hope this stays up, but...
That's, Sandy,
the joys of being outside. I'm out in my backyard.
Well, we worry about that on our own set every day. We hope this stays up and doesn't fall down. That is, what is that? Is that a cardboard? What is that behind you, sweetie?
That's just I just got some poster board from the store, and then that's a scarf around it, and then I just made the Jason Show logo.
My goodness. The effort. Sandy, thank you. My goodness. I mean, you have a better background than I have, for heaven's sake.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that,
You're
Jason.
very welcome. We'll talk to the ladies in just a little bit. Just kidding. I love my purple background. I do. And I love the stripes. I love the moving. Oh, my goodness. Can I tell you, because we have a few minutes, just a second, one of the worst mistakes I ever made was the beginning of this season. Because, the season ended in May, but last season, when we changed the look and we added these stripes, and before we had this purple background, we put the stripes behind me, you would have thought I had killed somebody. We got so many emails about those stripes. Take those stripes down. Oh, see this? We had this behind me. It was Harry Carey. They're moving too fast. This one woman said she was hypnotized. Another woman said I caused her to go blind. I mean, you would not have believed the emails we received about this background. But luckily, we changed it. Now, Leo, can I do that trick that I love? Now, let's test Leo's directing ability. I'm going to snap my fingers, and we're going to see if Leo can change this back to purple. Here we go. 1, 2. Oh, he changed the wrong one. He changed this one. No, Goober, this one. Okay, should we give him more chance? Let's give him one more chance. Here we go. Let's see if Director Leo can change this on the fly. 1, 2. Oh, no. You put Yam House behind me. Well, I look like I'm in the band. Well, not really. I mean, it's like, it looks like a big gay giant has joined the band, but yeah. Yeah, what? A little old, yeah. Ho, ho, ho. Anyway, next, just leave that behind. Oh, thank you, Leo. 8 minutes later. Next to the dish, the Free Britney movement appears to have hit a turning point. Britney's father has agreed to step down from running her conservatorship. He's been in charge since 2008, following, you guys know, Britney had a little bit of a public breakdown. But he says he will not be stepping down right away. What is he, Andrew Cuomo? And will work with the court to begin an orderly transition. Well, just step away now. Nobody wants you. What are you going to do? How long? Jeff, did they say how long he's going to do it? Come on, you leave now. No, don't you just, you leave now. Nobody, you! It's like being kicked out of a restaurant at the end of the night. You ate all of our buffet food. Get out of here. No, we don't need you. Get out. Britney doesn't need you. America doesn't need you. I have a Britney Spears t-shirt. I'm wearing it today for this. And I don't care where I go. I get more comments in that shirt. White, black, old, young, gay, straight, everybody. When I wear that shirt, free Britney. Nobody wants you, dude. Get out now. We don't need a transition period. Britney doesn't need a transition period. Take your bag, pack your bags, and get out. There we go. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Back in a moment.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Welcome back. The guys of Yam House. Check their tour schedule. Support them, buy their music. Hi. on Apple Music. Well, nothing can get folks fired up quite like the debate over tipping. How much is too much, and when are you just being a little cheap? Joining us now, she's not your father's financial advisor, the CEO and founder of Stash Wealth, our friend Priya Malani. Hi, Priya.
Hey, Jason. Thanks for having me.
I was talking to the guys. I was telling Ted and Jeff, when I do this topic on the radio show, and we've done versions of this over the years, the phone lines light up like very few topics. Do you find that in your own life, that this is a hot topic, as they say?
Yeah, total chaos. It's crazy because it's something that people haven't really thought too much about before deciding how they're going to tip, but they're extremely sensitive and very particular that their way is the way.
Now, Priya, our chat today is kind of based on a new poll, right? A poll on tipping. Am I right on that?
Yeah, at Stash Wealth, we conducted an Instagram poll on tipping just to kind of feel, in the post-COVID environment, had thoughts and opinions changed? And I think that's where we really found out that people hadn't really thought about it too much, but COVID has certainly brought it to new light.
Okay, so we're talking restaurant, bar, takeout. And number one, let's start here, 20% at a sit-down restaurant. That doesn't seem to change. That hasn't changed in many years. So it's still at 20%, Priya?
20% seems to be what most people feel is fair for fine dining. So again, it's about the level of service, right? Ultimately, you're tipping to show how you feel you've received. If you've received really good service, you tip a little bit more. 20% seems to be the going rate that people can agree upon. Now, pre or post-tax, that's where it gets a little hairy.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that in a second. Let's move to the bar. A little different. What did the results say here, Priya?
So it depends, because if you're paying in cash, people seem to round up, because leaving maybe $1 per drink, which used to be the old standard, feels a little cheap in this day and age. So people might round up $2 or $3. That actually means they may end up tipping more than 20% on a drink. And if you're using your credit card, it's kind of easier to do the math.
Yeah, and I know I'm listening. I can hear the audience right now. They are hearing us say, because I agree with you. I try to over tip because I've been a server, and I'm a big advocate for the service industry. I think people are going to hear you say $2 to $3 per drink, and they're going to clutch the pearls a little bit. But that's pretty much the standard, right? That according to this poll.
Yep. That is the new standard. $1 feels a little bit light. So especially, as we've come through COVID and the service industry has obviously gone through quite an ordeal, everyone's sort of stepping up, and now a couple bucks is the new going rate.
Well, speaking of COVID, I think a lot of us has ordered more takeout in the last 16 months than we ever have in our life. What did the poll say about takeout?
Yeah, it's a wide variety of responses. No one can really agree. Sometimes we see 10%, sometimes we see a flat dollar amount. Sometimes people are doing the full 20, 25% even. It depends also, did your Uber Eats driver have to go back and forth because the restaurant messed up your order, and so they had to take it back and then bring it back? That all factors in to ultimately what people are tipping.
And, people should know, Priya, too, watch the bottom of whether, I use Uber Eats a lot, because there is a delivery charge, and then there's an opportunity for tip. There's a lot of charges that people need to kind of watch for, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. There's new line items that are popping up everywhere. Even when you go to a restaurant now, you'll see many restaurants are splitting out the tip for front of house and back of house. So they're giving you that decision, another decision on top of a tipping decision. Do you want to also put something for the people who prepared your meal, not just the people who served it to you?
Priya, you mentioned this a few minutes ago, pre or post tax. Did you guys get into this in the poll?
Yeah, we did. People are very emotional about this. Technically tax at a restaurant is not part of what you're ordering. It's not part of the service, but many people feel like it is, and they're tipping they're choosing to place their tip on top of the bill and the tax on the bill. So I think what we ultimately surmised is that as long as you're doing what you feel is right for you and you're being generous, if that's what you feel you should be doing, the golden rule is the best way to approach it. But a lot of people don't realize that when you sit down and do the math, like someone who might be tipping 15% post-tax is the same thing as 20% pre-tax. So for those of people out there who are tipping on the tax, but they're tipping 15%, yeah, it's a wash.
We have just under a minute. Let's take a look at this graphic, Priya. So add a tip. This is the screen right here that has become very common. What look at the phrases below. What's that?
This was actually, I was getting a smoothie the other day, and the point of sales, like this the iPad where you actually have to, like, in front of everyone suggest what you're going to tip, it really puts the pressure on you. And while, in the past it was a little bit more like not everyone knew what you were tipping, you're now picking right in front of everyone, and the point of sale systems are gearing you to where they want you to tip.
Well, I'm a good tipper, but Priya, I don't like the titles under that. You know what I mean? I feel that's very judgy.
It's so judgy, and everyone is doing it a little bit differently. So, knew my name, that 20%, it might hit that normally. I was actually getting my smoothie the other day, and she asked my name. So I was like, wait, do I now not tip 20% because she didn't know my name? And
I would have been like, I was going to give you $3, but since you cheated and asked my name, now you're getting $2.
Exactly.
Yeah. Priya, as always, I love having you because we always learn something in this goofy show. So thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Jason.
For more information, head to stashwealth.com. Now we're talking to you because the conversation on tipping will continue with your Instagram messages and results in our poll next. Welcome back. Well, we thought so, and well, we were right on this one. This is a hot topic. We're continuing our talk on tipping. On the Jason Show Instagram page, we did 3 polls on tipping this morning. First up, do you tip the barista at a coffee shop? The results, 63% say yes, and 37% say no. It depends. It is really situational. It depends on what's happening. Like if it's just, Valerie, I don't know. I'm a big tipper, but on that one, it depends on the situation. Our next poll, do you tip housekeeping at a hotel? This one is a little closer. 56% says yes, 44% say no. I have no problem admitting this. I didn't even think of this until about 3 years ago. And I was like, oh, wow, I didn't consider that. And then it moves to, so then you do, but do you tip at the beginning of the trip? Do you tip every day? Do you tip at the conclusion? Because, there's different staff and different housekeepers that come in. So do you tip every day? To me, that seemed a little, I don't know. Again, that's also situational. When we went to our trip recently, we tipped right at the beginning. That's always, well, I'll tell you about my ultimate tip in just a second. The last poll, do you tip when you pick up takeout food at a restaurant? 74% say yes, and only 26% say no. This is a little tricky because, they are packing up your stuff. Having worked at the Red Lobster, it's a pain. So I do tip when I'm picking out takeout. Not a lot. I don't do always 20%, but I do tip. Here's what some people had to say, and we had a lot of comments. On takeout tipping, Lacey says, I tip now since the pandemic has put into sharp focus how crappy waitstaff are treated and how important they are to making our lives easy and tasty. That's a great point. Beautifully put. Absolutely. That's why, yeah, I do tip with takeout. Valerie has a comment on tipping the barista. She says, I tip $20 every time I go in since the beginning of the pandemic. I would like to be your friend. And by the way, I have a Sears bill if you would like to pay that for me. That's very nice. You are a good human being. I will be very honest. I tip a lot at restaurants. I've never given a 20 to a barista. I go there. Well, actually, no, that's a lie, because I go to the same place every day. So I've done. Anyway, you are very nice. Kate says, depends on where I am getting coffee. If it has a drive-through, then I do not tip. Oh, that's fascinating. I don't know if that makes a difference to me. Yeah, there's nowhere to put it. But yeah, if you do an app, yeah, that's interesting. See, there's so many tentacles to this. Finally, Libby commented on the housekeeping poll. She says, of course I do. I'm not a monster. Ooh, I feel judged by Libby a little bit. I wasn't a monster 3 years ago. I was just uneducated about it. No, I'm kidding. No, that's good to have. I think that is where tipping anxiety comes from, is we're afraid to ask. We don't want to look dumb, and we do not want to look cheap. And that's where all this anxiety comes from. That's why I just ask, like, what's the, for haircuts and the bellman. I mean, when you're at a hotel, do you tip the guy that brings your bags up? And then do you tip the guy when they're they open the door for you when your Uber pulls up? Oh, we got to go. I said I would give you my ultimate tip. I'll do that a little bit later. I'll do that at the end of the show. We're going to take a break right now, and we'll be back after this. Welcome back, my friends. Hope you guys have some fun weekend plans ahead of you. Speaking of the weekend, it is Friday, and many of us are looking forward to what's in store for the weekend. But we wanted to actually look back at all the fun that we had on the show this week. We can't expect you to watch every day. We would love you to. But we get that you miss episodes. So from Kendall trying to make me go ziplining to Ted as a magician, and some hilarious audience member moments, it has been a fun week. Here's a look back. I have words for Kendall. What are you talking about? So I looked at the email again that Kendall sent, and I'm like, the hell, why is Shane looking like... So I look, and it says canopy tour. And I thought literally it was going to be like canopies. Like I was going to go under canopies.
Like tents?
I don't know. I thought it said canopy tour. So I thought I was like doing tents, like different types of tents. But Shane goes, no, go to the website. And I look at the website. It's an aerial adventure park. And I look, and it was like the zip lining, and then getting on something called the leap of faith, where you're 40, 50 feet up in the air, and you step off a perfectly good platform. But the guy looks at me and he goes, yeah, but you're attached to a cable. And I no. Why would Kendall schedule me for this? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our studio after 18 years or months. Either one. It's our friend Aaron Schwab and Jay Fuchs, everyone.
Hi. How awesome is this?
We were just saying it's good to be within 3 feet of you.
Feels good to be back home again.
And it is. Please welcome back to the show our good friend, Christopher Straub.
Hey, it's great to finally be back in studio.
I know, you're back. We didn't give you the fake applause. I'm sorry, we used it all up in the Bachelorette segment. Yeah.
Thanks for coming in, Christopher.
So we decided we wanted to see if his tricks were real, like in person. So we sent producer Ted to get a little lesson in being a magician.
All I want you to do is I want you to hold it in your teeth. Don't actually take it into your mouth. Just bite down on it like that in your teeth, if you would. Oh, that's perfect. I'm going to use the 8 of diamonds for my card. And I am also going to sign my card with my name, Christoph. Hold it in half once, hold it in half twice. Oh, there we go.
Loving you is easy 'cause you're beautiful.
What? Jenny, I love your home. Is that your beautiful home there?
This is.
Yeah, Rachel.
I actually took all my pictures today because they were my kids. I didn't want them to their cuteness to overpower me. So.
Oh, are the children are in there, Jenny?
Well, no, I have them in the basement, like in the
I mean,
but I had pictures of them up in the background, but I didn't want them to interfere.
Okay. Now Jenny is my type of gal. She loves her kids, but she doesn't want the focus taken away from her. Jenny, I love you. I love you. Rachel, do you have any kids or relatives in a basement that we need to know about?
I'm actually in my parents' basement, so I can escape from my kids.
This is my last noodle. I need to get a top ring to at least tie it up. Okay, here we go. Final noodle. And the champion remains Anne. She sure was a champion. We had fun this week. We have some fun stuff coming up next week. We have, you'll see. Don't forget. I was imagining our board in the office, and I was thinking about the packages we have coming up. But thanks for not helping. Don't forget, we also do another daily show on our Facebook page called The Jason Show Before the Show. Now, this is the meeting where we go in detail about today's show. It's me, executive producer Jeff, producer Ted, director Leo, usually Kendall, and here's a highlight. This is real, this isn't fake. Here's a highlight from today's meeting.
So Jeff and I have an idea for a new segment. Okay. We want to determine who's cheaper, me or Jeff?
Oh.
Susie says Ted has to be cheaper. I was thinking this morning, I don't think I've bought a piece of clothing that hasn't been on sale or at Marshall's since like, I don't know, 20 years.
At a girl. We were in agreement until
Ted won't order delivery. Why?
Because I don't want to pay the tip, so I'll just go pick it up.
He wins.
You disgust.
What did we just learn?
That they have the McDonald's. What is it?
The McDonald's app.
The McDonald's
rewards.
app.
The McDonald's rewards
I
app.
didn't know they had a rewards program.
Yeah, free.
And Jeff gleefully said like he had just won the lottery. You get free fries every week.
Almost every day.
Oh my gosh.
I don't go
How much do you go to McDonald's?
I wish it was every day.
Like every week.
Cheap.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's the part that we could air in that meeting. It's nothing but all of us picking on each other for 15 minutes. That's all that is. You can join us live on Facebook for the Before the Show around 9:10 each weekday, unless Jeff is off, on our Jason Show Facebook page. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with the television show right after this. Back in a moment. Right, Ted? If Jeff's not here, no. So, I gotta tell you, forget the YouTube tease. I gotta tell you. So, we were debating about who's cheaper on our staff, executive producer Jeff or Ted, and the comments come pouring in, and we got a consensus, and it's Ted. The majority of people think it's Ted. So next week, there is a test that photographer Eric found. It's the cheap test to find out who's the most frugal. We'll be polite. Is it Jeff or Ted? We're gonna make him take that test. I think it's still going to be Ted, but I don't know. We're going to take a break. We're going to wrap things up right after these words. We're going to say goodbye to our audience and more. Stay with us on this Friday. Welcome back, friends. Let's say goodbye to our friends, Sandy and Angie. Guys, ladies, thank you so much for being here. Enjoy the backpack, the gift pack, and our delicious mug. Thank you for being here. So I said at the end of the show I would tell you my tip, foolproof plan. If you're going to be staying at a place, like let's say you're at a resort for like 5 days or 6 days, and you plan on patronizing the hotel bar a lot or the restaurant, what we always do, and it's foolproof, you tip huge on that first day. You're like, here, here, here. And I guarantee you you will be the rest of your vacation. It never fails for us. We leave a really large tip on that first day, and the staff kind of recognizes that, and you get incredible service. It has never failed us once, so a little tip there. Next week, oh, here's the tease for the show. Next week, I go zip lining. Sorta. Not really. Plus, Kendall will be back, and you'll get to see me talk about that. Plus, producer Ted tries an extreme workout. Oh, my goodness. That and more next week. Right now, go out there and be yourself, because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. Thank you so much for watching this week. We so appreciate it. Have a great weekend.